Hey, usually we tell you what not to have in your house when selling, but this time we're telling you the 9 things you need in your house when you're getting ready to sell your home. Hey everyone, I'm Lisa.
And I'm Jessica.
And today we're going to talk about these things you should have on your property. So let's get into it. Number 1, we are strong believers in surveillance equipment on a property. We like when there are cameras on the interior and the exterior. You want to know who's coming and going if you're not there, and especially if it's a vacant property or maybe you live there part-time. Having cameras is a good way to make sure your house is okay and no one is trying to break in. It's good to have recorded images of people who are on the property. We like to put a sign on the home like this that tells people they are being recorded. We recommend doing this even if you don't have any cameras in your home because it just keeps people honest and on their best behavior.
Number 2 is to have a features list for your home. Write down on a piece of paper all the details, all the upgrades, and all the distinguishing features of your property. We show a lot of properties and we would say 90% of them don't have a features list included on the listing or in the home as part of the property information book. This is poor marketing. So please, sellers, this is your responsibility to make sure that you provide the feature sheet or upgrade sheet or distinguishing features about the property. Your agent may know some of them, but not all. So write it out and your agent can make it pretty and make it available for the buyers who come through your property.
And here's a little tip. When you're writing that feature sheet, please avoid emotional adjectives when you're describing some of the upgrades or distinguishing features about the property. So you're not going to say things like, hey, we have great neighbors, or hey, it's a great trick-or-treat street, or hey, we have great schools and amazing teachers. That's too emotional.
Yeah, for sure. Just stick to the facts. Let's say you have a great school district. Just say our schools are rated highly. Please refer to the school website for ratings. That way the buyer can research it for themselves. You have to be very careful. You may think it's a great school district, but other people may not. So let them make their own judgment.
Number 3 is that every house should have a good smell. And we think this is probably the most important of these 9 things, but it's a tough one because when you live in your own smells, you don't smell them, but we guarantee you everyone else does. Visitors can smell your dog, your cat, and even your dirty laundry. You want your house to smell clean and fresh. We know a lot of agents who have their clients bake cookies just before showing. And while this is very nice, it's very old school. You may not want to make cookies every time someone comes to your house. But whatever you do, don't put too much fragrance. Do not get those things that plug in and squirt stuff out every once in a while. Those things are awful. When I smell that in a home, I think of what a Goodwill store smells like. Not that Goodwill is bad, I don't want any nasty comments, but if you've ever gone into a Goodwill store, it smells very strong of room deodorizer and dirty clothes, and it's just gross. It's better to be very neutral with your scent. Vanilla is a very gentle scent, and a very basic bland vanilla works great.
And we know some of you love candles, but here's the deal with candles. Sometimes they're really overpowering and they can make buyers think you're covering something up. Not only that, but do you really want a candle burning in your house when you're not there? What happens if a buyer brings their kids? The kids get a hold of the candle and oopsie daisy, the kid burns his hand, drops the candle. Now your drapes are on fire and you probably have a lawsuit on your hands. Don't take that chance. The easiest thing to do is get some room spray or room mist, and we found that you can get a good one for under $10 at Bed Bath & Beyond, and there are all kinds of scents, but we suggest you stick with the vanilla. They can carry different scents for just about every holiday, but just remember to stick with something light and neutral. You don't need your entire house smelling like peppermint schnapps.
Number 4 is that all the lights should be on when you're showing the property. If you have dimmer switches, don't dim the lights. We want all the lights on as bright as possible because it makes the house look brighter and bigger. And you need to make sure all the light bulbs in your house are the same. Don't have a soft white in one light and a bright light in another and a warm yellow tone bulb in another light. This looks terrible in photos and it doesn't show well in person either. Keep all the bulbs the same, preferably a bright white. And another tip, make sure all the bulbs are working. And if they're not, replace them. A home inspector will call out bulbs that don't work, and you don't want your buyer thinking there's an electrical problem.
Number 5 is making sure that prospective buyers can get around your home easily. Buyers should be able to easily maneuver around all the rooms of your home so they can fully enjoy it. We see a lot of sellers have way too much furniture in every room. For example, don't have too many chairs around the dining room table or too many stools at your bar. You want buyers to picture their stuff in your home and not worrying about tripping over the 3 ottomans you've got around your couch. We recommend removing 30% of your furniture so your home appears open and airy. If you do need to store extra furniture items in the garage, please don't overstuff it. Make sure it's organized, and please don't just pile everything on top of everything else. You need to have the perimeter of the inside of the garage clear so when an inspector comes, he can get around the garage to check the water heater, the GCFI outlets, and anything else that needs to be inspected.
Number 6 is every home should have the toilet seat down. Oh my gosh, I cannot tell you how many homes we go into and the seats are up, and sometimes the toilets are not clean, or even worse, someone has left a surprise in the toilet. And something else that is not a good look is when the toilet seats are up in the photos. Ugh, that is the worst. And since we're in the bathroom, if the property is vacant or you're out of town or whatever, please do not put those blue hanging toilet bowl cleaners in the toilets. If the toilet is not flushed often enough, the blue stains the porcelain, and it's really hard to get out, and it doesn't look great if someone looks in the toilet, and believe me, people will look in the toilet. Also, the toilet paper should always feed from the top, and if you really want to make it look nice, fold the toilet paper into a little point for a hotel feel.
Number 7, every house should have a fresh coat of paint or paint touch-ups. A lot of you forget the baseboards. This goes for the interior of the house as well as the exterior of the house, and painting will bring you top dollar for your home. So let's just talk about the interior for the video. If you are going to paint your house, paint it a neutral white color. No gray, please. Stay away from grays. That color is outdated. Stick to Dunn Edwards Swiss Coffee or Whisper, Benjamin Moore's White Dove, or Sherwin-Williams Pure White. You can do brighter on the baseboards like Dunn Edwards White.
Number 8 is every home needs to have the smoke detectors installed, and they should be 10 years or younger, and the date of the installation needs to be written on the smoke detector. Or you need to have the date of the installation along with your paperwork in your property book. We don't want to see a smoke detector on the counter or in a drawer. It needs to be installed on the ceiling.
Number 9 is that every house should have an area where medications and other valuables are stored. We don't want to have medications in medicine cabinets that prospective buyers may open, and we don't want prescription drugs sitting around the house. I showed a house once and the prescription drugs were sitting on a kitchen table. I've also walked into a home and have seen drug paraphernalia on a coffee table. Please don't do that. Those things, as well as jewelry or other valuables, need to be put away.
Well, we hope that these 9 things will help you get your home show ready. We help sellers get their home show ready so they can attract the right buyer, avoid price reductions, and move on to the next chapter with more money in their pocket and less stress on their shoulders. Call or text us or reach out to us using the links in the description below. And remember to subscribe and help us get to 1,000 subscribers. We would really appreciate it. And hey, if you're ready to list your home, let's make sure it doesn't just go on the market. Let's make sure it stands out on the market. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.